Hello and welcome to the Ilene Silverman Show. I'm your host Ilene, and on this week's program, our guests discuss the upcoming fundraiser, Rosé Gala, to benefit the American Cancer Society in support of the fight against breast cancer. And event founder Kara Winslow shares her personal reasons for establishing the Rosé Gala. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for our program. I'm delighted to introduce my guest, Kara Winslow, founder and event chair for the Rosé Gala. And Kara, first of all, we've been friends many years.
Yes.
And this is a real privilege. I've been looking forward to this opportunity to talk about the Rosé Gala, something you started 5 years ago.
Yes.
To benefit American Cancer Society and the triumph that we are all hoping for over breast cancer.
Yes.
And this, you started this from the ground floor.
Totally from the ground floor.
I congratulate you. I
Thank
truly
you.
do. And humorously, we've tried to be together on the Ilene Silverman
Yes.
Show about
Every
4
year,
times.
yes.
Yes. And then this year we've had hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
All kind of things happening, but we are here
Yes.
now.
Yes.
And so before we get to the reasons behind the Rosé Gala, what brought you to this opportunity, just tell us, the specifics about the event so all the viewers can have it on their calendar.
Fantastic. Well, this year we're going to have it on November 8th, and it is held at the 1908 Grand, which is downtown. We are very excited about it. We have VIP tickets and general admission. VIP tickets will give you access an hour early, starting at 6 o'clock to the event, as well as access to a VIP lounge and some other little treats. And then general admission can arrive at 7 o'clock. So we have all of that going on. There's a huge silent auction, which is actually already live online, and you can start bidding whether you attend or not.
Right.
And so it's going to be a night full of some really fun surprises. There's going to be great food. There's going to be dancing and, shopping in the silent auction.
Right. And the opportunity to come together for a common cause.
And that is what the entire night is about.
Right.
This night is about that fight against breast cancer that American Cancer Society has. And their money goes directly into funding research that scientists and doctors, many of whom are right here at the University of Florida,
we're
are
very
doing.
Fortunate about
we
that.
are so fortunate about that, to find a cure for cancer. And breast cancer has become the number one diagnosed cancer that there is right now. And we are seeing more and more young women.
That's the
who are
scary
getting it.
part.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's been almost a target of Rosé Gala, to bring in younger women, to share that knowledge. Oftentimes a younger woman will say, well, I don't need a mammogram.
Correct.
Or it's not covered by my
and
insurance.
That's one of the
That's
hard
a sticking
things.
point.
It is hard to go in below the age of 40 to get a mammogram.
Yes.
Our event, though, we've had many people who've come to our event who are younger, who are below the age of 40, who have literally said, I fought to get a mammogram because I knew something was wrong from attending your event. I can tell you, I'm 42 years old. I knew that I should be starting to get mammograms, and it took me 2 years to be able to get a mammogram because I wasn't showing any signs or symptoms, but I also
that
knew...
would put you in the category.
Right, exactly. But I knew I needed to go get checked because it can be something very small that you're not feeling in a self-exam. So our event really does target a younger demographic and trying to get them aware they need to pay attention. And we can, fight for your rights to get tested, that it's not just a pulled muscle. It could be something more.
And the more knowledge you have, the more knowledge that everyone can share together,
Correct.
the more successful, and we all want to have a healthy life. And breast, we were talking before, with the words breast cancer, could anything be more frightening?
No.
And I've had shows about so many different diseases and illnesses and heart that affect, women, and often primarily women, but those two words
Breast
are what
cancer.
terrifies us to the core.
Yes.
And it has evolved on in many years. And I was saying, I don't even hear as much attention anymore to breast cancer. And that's alarming.
And that's alarming.
That's why your event is so important.
Well, and that is alarming because it is growing. We did not used to have breast cancer as the number one diagnosed cancer, but in the past few years it has become that, and less women are getting mammograms and exams when they need them,
right?
Because of the fear of it, because of money, because of whatever the situation is. But it is such a scary set of words, breast cancer, and I think it's because not only do we know that it can kill you, but there is still a good survival rate.
Yes, there is.
But
and early detection,
correct.
We know that is key.
Early detection is very much key. But I think with breast cancer, what makes it so scary for women is it takes away all the elements of what is our femininity.
Yes.
You lose your hair, you lose your eyelashes, you lose your eyebrows, you lose your breasts. And you don't realize how much of that is your identity.
Yes.
Yeah, and you look in the mirror, and all of a sudden, you look like an alien.
You're a different person.
And it's very hard when all of that is taken away. And it feels very superficial to say, but it's not. It's who we are. It is so much who we are.
I agree.
And, when all of that is just ripped away, I think it is very hard for women, when they're battling it, to then look in the mirror and just not even recognize themselves.
Whoa. Yes. Thank you, Kara. Well said. We're going to take a quick break.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking about the Rosé Gala with founder and event chair Kara Winslow. And Kara, okay, you got us all excited about the event. But there are some very personal reasons that you started this, the impetus for Rosé Gala. So share some of those thoughts with us, please.
So in 2019, American Cancer Society came to me and said, hey, you're the girl who drives a pink car. You're a former director of development for 2 nonprofits, and you've been to every event in town. Can you help us create a gala for breast cancer? Yeah, they knew who I was. And I looked at them and I was like, yes, but not for any of those reasons. My dear friend Ilene, who I went to college with, we were theater majors, if you couldn't tell. She, several years ago, I got a message from her on Facebook, and she said, it was like being punched in the gut. She said she was diagnosed with stage 4 invasive breast cancer, and she was just 32 years old. She fought it. She did a treatment called the Red Devil. She came back to Florida, and a group of us were able to see her. And that night was the night her eyelashes actually fell out. And I had my makeup kit in the car, and I was able to glue some on, but it was very hard to keep them in place because all night we kept bursting into tears, trying not to, trying very hard. At one point, she looked around the table, and we were at the age where everyone was getting married and having babies, and I was the only one at the table that wasn't single with the prospect of a child, and she leaned over and whispered to me, I'm never going to have this, am I?
Oh my gosh.
And I just didn't know what to do because she wasn't. And that night I drove home saying goodbye to her, wishing it was goodbye, I'll see you soon, but knowing that most likely it was goodbye forever. And when I got word that she had passed, I knew I had to do something for her, and I just didn't know what that something was. She had to leave a legacy. Right. And so when ACS came to me with this,
you said this
is
my
it.
Chance.
This is it. And it was supposed to be 1 year. I was supposed to do it 1 year.
I think I remember you telling me
Yes, it was going to be
yes.
1 year, and I was going to have pink hair for one night. Here we are going into our 5th event. And the reason I've continued to do it is since then I had another college classmate at 40 years old die of it.
And did either of these women have breast cancer in their family?
No.
Was there
any?
Okay.
None. Then literally 2 days after the gala this past year, one of our local baristas, he passed of breast cancer, and this was a man who passed of it.
And you rarely talk about.
We don't talk about that, but men can get it too.
Yes,
we had wanted to feature him in our Survivor shoot last year, but he wasn't feeling well enough to do it, and then literally
just didn't survive.
Died right after the gala. I literally this past week.
What was his age? Was
he was below 40. I'm not exactly sure how old he was. And then literally this past week, I took a friend to get a biopsy. Luckily she did not. Facebook. Yeah, luckily she did not end up having breast cancer. I had my own breast cancer scare earlier this year. Too. Several of our committee members have. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
But whenever, and I know it's the way Facebook is, and people do share, but the other woman had shared her story, the weight. I knew you were with her in the waiting room. The agony of the uncertainty. I've had breast cancer in my family, so I've lived with a higher risk, and they have all been survivors. But as we've said, all the chemo, all the treatment, it changes so much, no matter what the doctors tell you.
It is. And, sitting in that waiting room while I waited for her, I was surrounded by other women, some who had had cancer multiple times, and I was sitting there hugging women as they were sobbing. And the woman who went, she went because she'd been to the Rosé Gala and knew to fight and to get that appointment.
I know that had to make you feel satisfied.
It did.
And the people on your committee and everyone involved, because you're making a change.
That's the goal.
I think you have raised a significant amount. What, 300,000?
300,000 we've raised in the past 4 events, and
that's amazing.
hopefully this year we'll pass that 400,000 goal.
Right.
My goal since we started, I want to raise over 100,000 in one night. And this year the event, that is my goal. I want to raise $100,000 in one night from this event. Okay. So fingers crossed. Let's make it happen.
Okay. You can move forward to do that. Yes. And with that in mind, we invite viewers to go online, check it out, be a sponsor. Well, buy a ticket, but be a sponsor at different levels that are
bid on the silent auction.
And bid on the silent auction and make that difference.
Yes.
Especially for younger women in this community, for gentlemen, and the impact that this diagnosis has on not just the one individual, but the entire family and friends. Yeah. And we're going to take another quick break. Thank you, Kara. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking about the Rosé Gala, and I'm so pleased to introduce our guest, Donna Cohn, Planning Committee member for the Gala. And Donna, thanks for joining us. You're also a longtime friend.
Long time.
Yes, and I cherish that, and knowing that you're a part of this committee to plan such an important event in our community, and what started the relationship, and how did you get involved?
Well, Kara's also a longtime friend, and we worked together on another event for many, many years, and very hard. I mean, as you can tell, Kara has a passion for what she does.
That's
a little bit.
Why it gets done. Yeah.
Right. And I've always admired her, and I knew she was doing this at 1908 Grand, and I was there.
Because as an interior decorator, that was something you redid.
That was something that I redid. And they were always having meetings there. And so I kind of horned in and said, what can I do? And so I donated stuff for the silent auction the first year. And then the next year Kara said, do you want to be on the committee? I said, I'm in.
Could I really not have her on my committee? Because she's kind of amazing.
Yes, I agree. I do agree. You are.
Well, we're a good duo.
Yes, and you've got I know some of the members. Tell me about the committee and what you're doing, because you've got a small, tight group. But
we have a very small, tight group, but we are a working committee. Mm-hmm. Everybody pulls their weight. Everybody brings just as much in as as anybody does, and there's nobody that's a slacker.
Understood. You don't. Yeah, you got to get this done.
Which is why, thanks to Kara and the committee, it's such a successful event.
Exactly.
As she said, over the past 5 years, raised over $300,000.
I mean, that is a lot.
It's
and it's wonderful that ACS is, you're sort of the mothership.
Yeah.
But given the way nonprofits have gone in the last few years, there's not enough people working with them.
No.
I mean, things just change and change and change. So they could not do what you're doing without you, Kara, and a hardworking committee. It just would not. It wouldn't happen.
Unfortunately, when COVID happened, the staff here in Gainesville got cut down to one person.
Right. I mean, it's just
one person to do all of it, and so our committee
Relay for life.
Exactly.
Right.
Our committee for this event is getting the sponsors, getting all the items for the silent auction, is working with all the vendors to make it happen. We amazingly have relationships with vendors so that most of them donate their services or give it to us at a discounted rate.
Right.
And that's all through our committee's relationships and asking.
Exactly.
So
That's what makes it go here.
Yep.
Yes.
And the committee also is, I have a very strong feeling that I don't like to ask people for things unless I've done something for them. So I think it's
Yeah,
a
I
give and
understand.
take, you know, much more so for everybody. It's a give and take situation.
Right.
So,
And you bring in all different areas of the community. As you said, you want to widen your base always for
Yeah.
those that are attending that know about it. And I know that it makes a difference, the way that you can organize this. And Donna, what are some of the things that you and the committee have been planning for this event or getting things done?
well, again, I leave this to
Okay,
Kara
I know.
because she is a dynamo. I mean,
I
event-
still was amazed when she walked in one day and said, get, I'm doing this event. I've come up with this idea.
Right.
And this is why, because of my friend, and I must do something to give her a legacy so that it doesn't
it
happen
would not
to
be
others.
as successful as it is without her.
I do agree
Thank
with
you.
that. Yes.
No, really.
Yes.
I mean, she's in her car every day going around soliciting sponsors, picking up things. I mean, you will see her the 2 days before the event there
That would
on
be
the floor, putting stuff in the computer, wrapping baskets. I mean, everybody does that, but she most of all. So
well, without a good leader, then you can't have a committee function.
absolutely not. So
You know, and now you're kind of down to the crunch time.
Yes.
I know.
definitely the crunch time.
Yes. But and about how many people on this committee?
about a half dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's a small little
that
committee.
is
Very
small
small
It's
committee.
a very small committee. We
All
work
right.
very hard.
Oh, I congratulate you all. We're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to talk more about the Rosé Gala. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're discussing the Rosé Gala with Kara Winslow and Donna Cohn. And it's coming up soon,
It
Friday,
is.
November 8th.
Yes.
So tell us all about it, what we need to know to go and enjoy ourselves. Because it's a...
You go first.
Okay. And you're the MC for the night.
I
too.
am,
yeah.
so
Oh,
you
you
know,
are.
I can talk.
You're on.
Well, I mean, a big part of the event is all the pink. Everyone comes dressed to the nines in pink. So
Love it.
people
It's
start
perfect.
planning their outfits way in advance. The first year I wore 5 outfits. Don't
I think
worry,
you
I
told me that.
won't.
You part it down?
I did. We've definitely, brought it back down. But that is one of the fun things is seeing everyone dressed up in their pink. But we have
Now,
amazing
are
food.
you the only one with pink hair?
Not always. Some
know,
people,
there you go.
some
There are
people
other
have had
people.
pink hair.
Yeah.
Some other people
yes.
do, definitely.
Yes,
pink
the
hair.
pink hair is definitely a thing at this
Okay.
event. But
And the men, it's so much fun to see the men.
Oh.
they get dressed in pink too.
Oh,
I
that's
mean, what they
fantastic.
wear, they find the blazers, they'll
Uh-huh.
find shirt. I mean,
Oh,
shoes.
It is.
It's
so
very
fun.
Yes.
So much
Very
fun.
fun.
It shows such a caring, thoughtful attitude that
Yes.
they will take time to do
I mean,
that.
it's
Yeah.
a fun thing to do for a very serious event.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well-
oh, and think of the photos, which
Oh,
I've seen
yes.
on Facebook.
Oh yes. Well,
Wonderful
we're all
photos.
about the photo opportunities.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
love photo opportunities. I kind of like taking pictures, so that might be
That's
a little bit
okay.
of my leaning. But we have lots
That's
of
all
different
right.
things.
I always like that.
I
about
know,
it.
right?
I know.
So we have a lot of different activities, areas to take pictures, things like that. So it's a really sort of you're not just going and sitting at a table at our event.
Right.
It's
There's
not
activity
stodgy.
the whole time.
There's stuff
I
to
understand.
do.
It's
We
moving
want you
all
engaged.
the time.
Yeah.
Moving from one thing to another.
And
Yeah.
because you said you're on all different levels.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So
it
what
is.
are those? Because you started talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me more about the food. And,
So let's see. We have outside. We have Four Rivers Catering,
Okay.
including a carving station this year,
Ooh, lush.
which is going to be amazing. Out there is also the beer tasting garden.
Okay.
And then we also have activities that are going to be a surprise, so I can't tell you.
Okay, no, that's okay.
Inside on the main floor, there will be desserts from Four Rivers. There will be a wine and long drink bar, as well as photo booth, DJ, and a surprise when you walk in the door.
Whoa.
Yeah, I can't tell you that either.
No, that's okay.
And then upstairs is where the VIP lounge will be, as
All
well
right.
as the entire silent auction, which we have about 200 plus items every year in our silent auction. You bid online, but you get to see the items live in person, and that is where the full service bar is as well.
Oh,
And
so you're
there
right.
will also
It
be
is A night to remember.
It is. There will also be a grazing table up there, a dessert table up there, and desserts in the VIP lounge. So there's going to be food all over this year.
So no one will ever come away hungry.
No, not this year.
Rosé Gala.
Not this year. In the past, maybe. Not this year.
Not this year. No. But
And
yes.
wait, you already have how many items for the silent auction?
Right
it's
now,
mammoth.
we have about
It's gonna be a lot.
170, and it will be
You're going
over
strong.
200 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're
Oh,
all
wow.
really great.
Yeah.
items. Like
Amazing items.
Fun things.
Yes.
Experiences.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Oh, no, I
experiences are always
understand.
great.
That's something
Some
that
trips.
people look forward to
Trips,
and can
yes.
share together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay. I'm just. It's very important. You might make your goal.
That, if I can make that goal this year, I'm going to be the happiest person ever. If we break that $100,000, which has been my goal since day one,
Yes.
the first year we had 4.5 months to plan the event. And we did well, but we did not do it. Each year we've raised more.
You've been starting
And
earlier,
this
like
year,
the next
if
day.
we can, yes, literally.
Yeah.
Literally the next day I'm thinking about what do we do next year. But if we can break that, it's going to be the best day ever.
And that will be her birthday present.
That's
'Cause
right,
her
'cause it is
birthday.
your
It
birthday,
is-
November 8th.
it is on my birthday this year.
Outstanding.
On her birthday.
and I want to first congratulate you, Kara, Donna, your whole committee, of which I have many friends, what you're doing for the awareness of breast
Thank you.
cancer and particularly younger women in this community and the Rosé Gala. We only have a few more seconds, but what would you like to say?
Well, we hope to see you guys there. And if you can't make it, please bid on our silent auction. You'll see the website listed below. Click on there and you can start buying things on the silent auction and get those tickets to the event, which we would love to have you there.
Oh, I think I congratulate all of you. It is
Thank
going
you.
to be outstanding.
So excited.
Yes, yes. And thank you for this opportunity to talk about it.
Thank you.
And I hope I will see you at the Rosé Gala. So glad you tuned in, and I hope you'll join us next time. Take care.